The summer of Smash continues on to Super Smash Con at a breakneck pace, with top players not getting any time to breathe after EVO last weekend. The talent pool isn't nearly as deep as EVO, but over 2,700 players entering Ultimate makes it the second largest Smash tournament of all time. And with big entry numbers comes a big prize pool that everyone is looking to grab the largest cut of. So with this video, we're going to take a look at the road of some of the top seeds at Super Smash Con to help you make your pick for who will take home the gold in Virginia this weekend. And any big tournament discussion has to start with MKLeo, the current undisputed king of Ultimate. Out of the 15 major Ultimate events he's attended, he's won 7 and only finished outside the top 8 a single time. A recent addition to his crammed trophy shelf was his win at EVO, where he went on potentially the greatest losers bracket run in Smash history, after dropping a set to Kamehameha's Mega Man. But as you can see, he did have a brief misstep recently on his home turf at Smash Factor, where he dropped his first set to Mars in quite a while. Both these positives and negatives are in the past, so let's look at his future in the projected bracket. In top 64, he's got Myron's Olimar, who he cleanly eliminated last time they met back at Frostbite in February. A lot has changed in Ultimate since then, but both Olimar's nerfs and Leo's character switch almost surely have made this win even more of a certainty since then. Next in line for the massacre is MVD, who drowned at EVO this last weekend by finishing at 65th. This included losing to Plup and Stroder. The good news is that MVD hasn't faced off against Leo yet in Ultimate, so he may have some element of surprise. But Leo has easily contained other snakes in the past, so one still licking his wounds from EVO should be another easily PGR win in the book. Then in top 16, Zachary gets another shot at Leo. The two facing off was something fans have been clamoring to see since the game was released. But when it finally happened at EVO, it was not even close. But maybe the prestigious stage and the best of 3 format was getting to the 17-year-old Wolfmane, and he'll at least be able to take a game this weekend. Sora also has the potential to get a shot at an EVO run back at SmashCon, but his chances of winning look grim. Since Smash and Splash, he's lost 4 sets to MKLeo, and only managed to take 2 games across. So it looks exceptionally grim for Sora's chances to win the event, unless he or someone in Leo's path before him performs the impossible. And then in Winners Finals, the Titan meets Mars, the only person who has ever eliminated his Joker from a tournament. He's probably the only person at the event that could be arguably favored against MKLeo because of his recent 2 wins at Smash Factor. He didn't go down without a fight then, and he won't be going down without a fight now. That is, if Mars is actually able to make it there. Mars' recent performance has been a little weird. He had one of his best performances in Ultimate at Smash Factor, but it was pinned down right between 2 of his worst at EVO and Defend the North. So maybe Mars is just good at every other event, and SmashCon will have him take home another gold medal if his road to Grands looks clean enough. That road begins against Arizona's Stroder, who he handedly took 3 games off when they met at the Goodwill Invitational. So he's a big favorite, but unfortunately for Mars fans, this is probably the last projected match that he's a huge favorite to win until MKLeo. The first of these road bumps is Wishes. Their last set that went to Game 5 last stock was clouded with drama. It was considered with an asterisk to some because the set was paused for nearly an hour halfway through Game 5 because a crowd member was mid-set coaching Wishes by yelling out what ledge options Mars was going to use. So although it went to Mars last time and he's 13 seeds higher, I'm still scared that the Pokemon trainer main could knock him into losers early. But if Mars makes it through to top 16, he'll have an EVO rematch of his own against Nairo. His previous sets against Nairo at Gammel, Momocon, and CEO did go in his favor, but they all came down to the last game of each set. Mars finally widened this gap further at EVO, winning their off-stream set 2-0 to eliminate Nairo at 17th. So he's for sure more the favorite in this head-to-head than he would have been previously. But how close the two have gone in the past leaves hints at the potential for an upset. And then one match away from his date with MKLeo in Winter Finals, his dream run will almost certainly end because of his poor history against Tweek. His story against the now Pokemon trainer main is the reverse of his story against Nairo. After he was able to bring it to Game 5 at their first set at Gammel, the 3 sets at Gammel, Momocon, and Low-Tier City since then have all been 1-3s. So he's gonna have to hope the Pokemon trainer nerfs have been impactful enough to push him to another character. But seeing as his Roy has beaten him in the past, that might not be enough either. But that depends on if Tweek makes it there himself. So let's continue down the projected matchup rabbit hole after looking at Tweek's recent events. There's not really much new to say about Tweek that hasn't been said 100 times. He's unfortunately been stuck as the second best in the world for quite a while, and his heartbreaking loss at EVO has only amplified that perception of him. But from his tweets, we can see he's been keeping a positive outlook on the whole situation and is looking to the future instead of gleaning over the past. And first in his future at SmashCon is Mr. R, who he's won his last 2 against, taking the set 3-1 at Saint Gaming and 3-0 at Prime Saga. both with Wario, so shouldn't be too much of a concern for Tweek in this matchup. His next two matches against Salem, who he hasn't played against yet in Ultimate, and Shootone, who hasn't played since Genesis, are really the most concerning in my eyes. They touch on Tweek's greater storyline as an Ultimate player. This recurring tale is one of inconsistency, especially when faced with unfamiliar situations or players, which almost certainly partially stems from his frequent character switches. We saw this most recently at Smash and Splash, where he lost to Wizrobe, who is mainly a melee player, and the Great Gonzalez, who just barely squeaked into the top 50 at 43rd best in the world. But maybe that event was actually a wake-up for Tweek, as he's performed super well since that event. So we'll have to see if he makes it through Mr. R, Salem, and Shootone to play Mars in a familiar match that he should win. And if he does make it past Mars for that familiar and winnable match, he most likely will meet MKLeo after for a familiar and significantly less winnable match. He's lost 2 sets to MKLeo at EVO, and he got swept 3-0 recently at SmashCon. This then brings us to Sora, the 4th seed at SmashCon, and the last major contender for taking home the event. His story is the reverse of Tweek, as he's been incredibly consistent since the game's release, only finishing outside of top 8 at 3 of the 17 major events he's attended, and only occasionally dropping sets to players outside the top echelon of play. Where he has fallen short is being able to steal away sets from the 3 players ranked above him. Tweek and MKLeo both demonstrated this last weekend at EVO, both handing him a 2-0 and handshake. And him and Mars have traded sets back and forth, each winning one at Pound, Mars winning at MMC 3-0, and then Sam winning their most recent set 3-0 at Smash and Splash. But Sora won't ever be able to catch up to Mars on the rankings if he doesn't beat those top 2. The projected smooth sailing he's got to get to them reiterates just how good his peach is. First up is Scat, who he beat 3-1 back at SC United, back when the game was still in its infantile stage. But it's still a result we'll almost certainly see repeated. Then he's got Shoyo James, who's recently switched his tag to Rivers. Although Sam isn't the biggest fan of playing sword fighters, he swept Rivers when they met at MomoCon, and his ability to clutch it out at Proto, one of the best Lucinas in the world, at EVO shows that nerfs haven't changed his skill against those kind of characters. And his last warm-up round for the big fish would be DeBuzz, who many other players would be terrified to see. But he's just another top player that Sora easily handled when the pair last met during Sora's flawless victory at Defend the North. From there, it's up to him to change the story against whatever combination of MKLeo, Tweek, and Mars he needs to defeat to win the event. And that wraps up our video on who has the best chance to win at SmashCon. Tell us down in the comments who you think is going to take home the SmashCon crown, as well as any other players you think we should have our eyes out for this weekend. If we had to make a prediction ourselves, the easy choice to win the event is MKLeo. His only real demon in the bracket is Mars, who will most likely get upset by someone on his path to get a shot at the best player in the world. So then, Leo is just going to continue beating the same players he's beaten before to win Super SmashCon. And even if Mars ends up subverting expectations to play a set against Leo, those Smash Factor sets were very close, and MKLeo almost certainly extensively studied those VODs to make sure he won't drop another set to Mars anytime soon. Stay tuned right here to ProGuides.com for future storylines to look out for, heading into major events like Shine coming up in a couple weeks' time. Make sure you drop a subscribe on the channel and get those notifications so you can be the first to up your Smash game right here with ProGuides.